Peggy 18.
You never quite know what you're going to receive when you put a Far Cry game into your Xbox 360 or Xbox One in this case. They've always been a franchise that's sort of evolved in really surprising ways, you know, from the sort of supernatural adventures of Far Cry 1 to the sort of desert wasteland gameplay of Far Cry 2, and then the sort of crazy emergent gameplay of Far Cry 3. And 4, I guess we were initially quite disappointed that it wasn't doing anything new straight off. But the more you see of Karat, the new location which is set out in the Himalayas, the more we seem to be impressed by just the expansiveness and just absolute beautiful, beautiful world they've created.
I think sometimes all you need is just the extra grunt of a new generation to really help a game jump up a step. You don't need to completely revolutionize what you're doing, particularly when your ideas were so ambitious to start with. You just need a console that can actually deliver it.
Yes.
And that's what they're getting with this generation, consoles that can deliver it. And so that's what we're seeing on Xbox One, is a bigger, bolder, more detailed, and more free Far Cry than we've had before.
Yeah, it looks great. You know, it lets you ride elephants, which has pretty much sold both ourselves and the rest of the Xbox community by the looks of it. But there's actually one thing that really, really interests me about Far Cry 4, and it's the Shangri-La missions that you'll see coming up in just a second. And it almost looks like they've taken Blood Dragon, which was that weird cyberpunk neon spin-off they released a couple of years back, and just integrated it directly in. Now this is in development by Ubisoft Toronto. They're the guys who did Splinter Cell Blacklist, and it's this 5-mission adventure into the weird and supernatural, and it just looks strange. It basically throws you in, pairs you up with a white mystical spectral tiger, and has you battling in these really vivid, surreal locations against like an ancient evil. I'm way up for this.
I'm sold. You had me at Spectral Tiger.
That's where I was sold as well. It's crazy. It does look mental, but I think this is what Far Cry needs. It needs this really crazy edge. You know, we saw a little bit of it in Far Cry 3 with the drug-fueled bits, but I think that's going a step further, and that really, plus all the other new advancements, has just completely sold me on Far Cry 4.
Yeah, I think they've definitely looked, you can see they've looked at Far Cry 3, they've seen what worked best, what was most exciting, what was most fun, and said, just more of that stuff. Forget about everything else, just more of the fun, more of the crazy.